What is up, everybody? It's your boy TY, and we're here for another edition of TY's TV Time. I'm a little exhausted, but that's okay. We'll make it through, and we'll make it through good. His Dark Materials aired episode 4, The City of Angels, last night. Pretty good episode, I'd say. Not the best of the 2 seasons yet, but I mean, it did fill in some of the backstory and the back end of things. So I mean, that was wonderful. I'm at least, I wasn't jumping out of my seat by any means, but I wasn't, too mad either. Before we get started, I do have a couple things that I'd like to share with you. Instagram, I'm sorry, you won't get any of the graphics. You'll just get me and a green screen. But for everyone else, you'll get them. For Instagram, if you do want to see the full experience, head over to Facebook or YouTube. Our links are in all the bios, and you can watch it from there. So our first update it has to do with my mother. So we're going to be raising money for her breast cancer, medical bills and stuff like that. After this video is over, you'll be able to find all the links to help donate and to do your part. She's been diagnosed with stage 4 breast cancer, which is very hard to beat. And her medical bills and prescription costs are piling up. So if we can help, let's please help. $1, $2, $3 or more. We're not asking you to give us your paycheck, but I know she would appreciate it so much. So if you can help, please do. Our second update is for next week, next Monday. Kim Rhodes from Supernatural, Sheriff Jody Mills will be joining TY's TV Time for a special look into Supernatural's ending and her character and what it could possibly mean for her in the future. I know she was supposed to be in a kind of a spin-off deal with Wayward Sisters. However, that never came to fruition, and the network never picked it up. So we'll get into all that, and we'll just have a nice conversation with Kim Rhodes. I think that should be really fun. I think, she's an awesome person. So I personally can't wait to do this. She's one of my favorite characters in Supernatural. So, this means a lot to me. All right. So with that being said, it is now time for our His Dark Materials edition, episode 4, The City of Angels review. So let's just jump right into it. The sweet spot of any fantasy adaptation is the plot. It's the point that it becomes compulsive enough to watch as the books are to read. And season 2 kind of just arrived there. The episode ended with major players all set to convene, in the same location. That world that you could kind of see in Lyra's world through the Northern Lights. So it raises anticipation for next week's Sitagazin Royal Rumble. If after the credits rolled it had only been a matter of turning the page, we'd all surely be deep into the next chapter, if you will. Tower of Angels delivered so many moments, that we've been all waiting for. All the gifts were there. Almost every scene was filled with either references to the novels or, things of what's to come. The Tower Angels delivered so many moments that we were all truly waiting for. Will becoming the bearer of the knife. Mary's paradigm shifting revelation about dust and her speaking to dust or angels, and that scene when it was like the angel was talking back to her and she asked, what did you guys want? And they said vengeance. I mean, that was pretty cool. for me, that was awesome. So I was pretty excited about that. The arrival of proper Stanislaus Grumman, Colonel John Perry, Joe Perai, a character teased ever since Lord Asriel displayed what he thought was his frozen head all the way back in the season 1 opener. It was a payoff. It was just payoff after payoff after payoff after payoff. And it's all been prepping the way for more madness to come. The episode belonged to Amir Wilson. I'll give him that. Will Perry definitely stole the show this episode. His character went from a companion of Lyra's to a hero in his own right, with his own magical object and his own destiny, his own prophecy to live through. So I thought this episode did a good job of setting up the future. It did a good job of filling in some cracks, some motivations, and things like that. Will Perry is now Lyra's equal, which I thought is awesome. He's not the scarecrow to her Dorothy. Wilson has a match for everything the episode asked from him, even holding his own against a screen presence like Terra Stamp as Giacomo Paradisi, the knife's previous bearer, who showed us that he also had the same fingers cut off as Will gets his after a little scruffle with someone who was trying to steal the knife from the old man. Will and Lyra kind of, try to get into the tower. They find a way in through this door that has the same angel on it that the tower has, and they enter through that door. They head in. By the time they get to the old man who's tied up, they realize that he was the bearer of the knife before Will eventually becomes it. And they help the old man try to figure out what's going on. The kid, in the meantime, the kid who had stolen the knife is trying to escape the tower, and they all run into each other. Will and Lyra soon tussle with this kid, and a nice little scene of so Will kind of gets thrown out a window, and there's a little fight. They pull them back in, and there's because Will's a boxer, so he's fighting the kid. And I think the old man finally realized that Will would be the next bearer, because the kid swipes the knife at Will and cuts his couple fingers off. And that's when the old man realized, oh my God, the knife has chosen its next person, because he knows in his heart that the same 2 fingers, he also got cut off in the same exact way. So he kind of grabs Will, gives him, tells him to fight, boy, and pushes him back in. Will lands some crazy punches, a spleen knockout, and the kid is told by the old man to get out of here while he still can. From there, the old man kind of starts teaching. He knows Will's the next bearer of the knife, so he kind of starts teaching him the ways of the knife, how to use it. Will gets frustrated because he can't use it. And the old man says that, you're not letting go. You're not emptying your mind. Lyra knows that that's the way she uses the alethiometer. So she tries to help Will walk through it as well. We get a nice little backstory on the specters in the beginning of the episode and how they came to fruition. And as I said last episode of TY's TV Corner, the specters are born from the knife. They are born from the knife. So the more the knife gets used ill-advisedly, the more specters are born. So the more you use the knife not for the greater good, the more specters are born. Lord Asriel tapped into that power, and when he ripped the hole in the universe, or the path into the other world, and there was a spike in specters being born, and that's who are overtaking this new world. So that's at the beginning of the episode. The witches kind of bring us through that. I believe they're the ones narrating it. So from there, like I said, Will's learning how to use the knife. Flash over. Oh, just spilled my coffee. Spilled my coffee live, baby. So from there, we head over to Dr. Malone, and she is again trying to connect with her work in the cave. Lord Boreal makes an appearance as a defense contractor, trying to pose himself as a defense contractor to kind of bid for, funding this project. Dr. Malone quickly shuts it down. She doesn't want anything to do with defense companies. After that, she kind of goes in and tries to connect with the work again, connect with it, and she does. She connects with it, and all of a sudden she's talking to somebody. We hear this voice coming through the work, through the cave. She has a little conversation with it. We soon find out that this is dust or dark matter, or angels. They're all the same thing, and they occupy all the extra space in the world. Anywhere there's dark matter or dust, it's someone's soul. So some things are all connected somehow. Dust, souls, demons, angels, dark matter, they're all connected. We find that out this episode. The angels tell us that they're there for vengeance. So I'm assuming that we'll find out what that means soon. Overall, guys, this episode filled in a lot of cracks. However, there wasn't a lot of crazy action going on. The next thing that we'll talk about is Lee Sorsby finds the person that he's been looking for, the guy he's been looking for. And it turns out to be John Perry, which is Will's dad. I didn't think we were going to get introduced to him this quick. However, we did. And he's a shaman, I guess. Shaman? I don't know. I guess he's a shaman. But there's kind of a funny little exchange between the two. I know. So Lee Sorsby's like kind of, trekking through the swamp, and he asks, he's like, he gets visited by a bird who's talking. So it's clearly someone's demon, or so we thought. And the bird says, "Come with me. I'm going to bring you to someone who's looking for you." And he says that how he wants a bacon sandwich. And then he gets to John Perry's, and John Perry offers him a bacon sandwich, which I thought was pretty funny. Overall, though, they make a deal. So John Perry is kind of telling us, the audience, and Lee about the knife and how he needs to find the new bearer of the knife because he can feel that the knife is ready to change hands. While he's saying that, we're seeing the knife change hands, and it's his son. His son is becoming the bearer. So everything is kind of coming together at this point. Everything is kind of fixating on this knife. This knife seems to be the biggest plot point of the season. And Lyra is there to kind of help Will along and teach him how to use, or how to kind of blank his mind and show him how to properly use these artifacts, because she does it constantly with the alethiometer. It seems that those two objects are tied together in some sort of way. So Lee and Will's father set off on a course to find Lyra and the new bearer of the knife. Little do they know that Lyra is with the bearer of the knife, the new bearer of the knife, Will, which is John's son. And we have Lord Boreal meeting up with Ruth Wilson's Miss Coulter, saying that he found Lyra. So he is now bringing Ruth into the other world. So he's bringing Miss Coulter to the new world. Lord Asriel is somewhere in the new world. Lyra and Will now have the subtle knife, and they are aiming to steal the alethiometer back from Lord Boreal, kind of walking into his trap with Miss Coulter, because he says as soon as he gets the knife, Miss Coulter, you can have Lyra. I just want the knife. I just need the knife. You can have her. And now we have John and Lee heading towards Lyra and Will. So all the paths of each of our main characters seem to be heading towards the same place, the same spot, same location, and we are going to have a Royal Rumble of sorts. All we need now is Lord Byronson, the polar bear, to show up, and my life will be complete. Overall, guys, I'm going to give this episode 6.8. It wasn't the greatest episode ever. It wasn't the worst episode ever. But like I said, it filled in some plot points. It did its job. However, it wasn't some of the stuff was kind of corny. Some of the stuff wasn't as, the visuals were cool. The visuals were great. But it seemed like it was being rushed along. Like some of the choreography wasn't there during the fight scenes. We got to see a little bit more of the specters. We got to see the specters kill a couple people. So, I mean, overall, the episode was decent. It just wasn't my favorite episode so far. Next week, our episode review will come out on Tuesday. Because like I said, we're going to be talking to Kim Rhodes on Monday. So that should be really fun. And overall, His Dark Materials on HBO Max is a great show to watch. If you're looking for something that's in that sci-fi range, something that, isn't too graphic, but also still is like a little bit dangerous. It's got talking bears, talking animals, demons, angels, and some really cool magic, witches. And overall, it's a good show. It does lack in some places, but that's okay. That's okay. It happens. We can't be perfect with everything we do. Some sacrifices need to be made. I'm sure that the HBO Max platform has done well for them. So hopefully over the next couple of seasons, if they do get the green light, the budgets will increase and we'll get a little bit better of a production. But overall, like I said, guys, not crazy, nothing special going on besides, solidifying at where everyone's going to be headed, where everyone's going next. Will now has the subtle knife, which is a huge part. It's a huge part of this source material. The Subtle Knife is the name of the second novel in Philip Pullman's His Dark Materials world. So, it's going to be fun to see where we're going next. Miss Coulter is still terrifying. Lord Boreal is still, it seems like he's got some ulterior motives. I can't pinpoint what they are yet, but he's definitely got some ulterior motives. And I'm looking to see what those might be. We didn't get a lot from the Magisterium this week. Not a lot of stuff going on through Father McPhail or anything like that, but I'm sure that the Magisterium will be elbows deep next week in what's to come. The witches also crossed over into the third world. I forgot to say that. So the witches also, they attacked so they did. So the Magisterium was in it for a little bit. However, it was like just the aeronaut Magisterium. The witches retaliated against the Magisterium and attacked their ships that were guarding the portal that Lord Asriel brought to existence. The witches take them down, take them out in an epic fashion, and then head through the portal to what seems like to help Lyra. So we should be getting them as well as Lord Boreal, Miss Coulter, Lee, Will's dad, Lyra, and Will, and the witches are all headed to that world and to meet up and converge in one epic last couple episodes. So stay tuned, guys, because every single week from here going forward, we'll have a new episode of TY's TV Corner and an episode breakdown. After we wrap up with His Dark Materials, we're going to be jumping right into WandaVision. WandaVision is our most anticipated show of early 2021. And I will not be doing these reviews alone. Big Drip will be joining me for WandaVision TY's TV Corner episodes. Maybe possibly even producer Jack will be joining those episodes. And we'll be breaking down every little detail of WandaVision here on the show. As always, we are presented by the Pop Culture Corner YouTube show and podcast. And we always want to say thank you to our brand and shout them out. You can follow us on all podcast platforms, as well as on all social media, including Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter, you name it, we're there. And we also air new content every single week on YouTube. So please be sure to check us out. If you're not subscribed to the channel already, please do. To help support us, ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our new uploads and our greatest and latest content. If you are someone you know are struggling with mental depression, mental illness, and are thinking of hurting yourselves, please make sure you call the National Suicide Hotline. They work 24/7 around the clock to bring you the support you need. We're always willing to lend a helping hand here at the Pop Culture Corner as well. So if you need anything, you just want to talk or laugh together, please feel free to reach out and let us know, and we'll take the time and talk. If you can, please, guys, please, this means a lot to me, but if you can help my mother, if you can help our fund, if you can help our campaign, please make sure you donate if you can. This link isn't going anywhere anytime soon, so it will be up for 2 or 3 months, and we have a $2,000 goal to go towards my mother's medical expenses and her chemo and prescription costs. We'll get her on here to say thank you to everyone as well, so you know that she is a real person. She thanks you. I thank you. I love you. We love you. And as always, please stay classy and stay beautiful. And join us next time this Sunday on the Pop Culture Corner.